In 1967, researchers working at a facility in northern Colorado would begin to notice a strange disease spreading throughout a small population of mule deer. The symptoms were concerning, to say the least. This illness was much different than the common ones that the researchers had grown accustomed to observing in the deer. This mystery disease seemed to absolutely ravage every deer that contracted it. Most cases would start with the animal experiencing difficulties with simple movements. Almost every infected animal would then experience gradual weight loss over time, which was followed by behavioral changes which included decreased interaction with other animals, listlessness, lowering of the head, tremors, repetitiveness, and nervousness. The infected deer would also experience excessive salivation and grinding of the teeth. In the months following the discovery of this new mystery disease, the researchers quickly realized that the disease proved fatal in 100% of its victims. The disease was initially recognized as clinical wasting syndrome, but was later identified as a disease of the transmissible spongiform encephalopathy, or TSC category. Following this classification, the disease was officially named chronic wasting disease, which is now commonly referred to as zombie deer disease. TSC diseases are caused by prions, which are misfolded forms of normal proteins. Exposure to prions can cause widespread neurodegeneration over time. Mad cow disease is perhaps the most well-known TSC disease, as several outbreaks have caused infection in humans over the past few decades. The nature of prions makes TSC diseases extremely difficult to prevent and treat. Prions are nearly indestructible. They are not affected by any grade of disinfectant and can be frozen for extended periods of time, remaining viable once thawed. The only proven way to destroy a prion is to expose it to temperatures exceeding 900 degrees Fahrenheit for at least several hours. The resilience of these prions has allowed chronic wasting disease to absolutely ravage certain populations of deer, elk, caribou, and moose. Today, the disease has been found in 26 US states, 3 Canadian provinces, Norway, Finland, and most recently South Korea, due to an infected population of Canadian deer being relocated to the area. The disease most commonly spreads through the saliva of an infected animal, further raising transmissibility due to the common excessive salivation symptom caused by the disease. This puts grazing animals especially at risk, since healthy animals are bound to graze on the same pastures as infected ones if left unregulated. And also due to the resilience of prions, even if authorities think that they've contained the outbreak through euthanasia of the infected population, it's almost impossible to ensure that an infected animal had not contaminated areas of soil that other deer would have access to feeding on, as a prion can remain infectious in the soil for years without a host. Containing chronic wasting disease has posed a huge challenge for the affected countries. More and more states are being found to have CWD-infected animals, and the spread of the disease does not seem to be slowing. Several different approaches have been taken to contain the spread, most of which include targeting and killing the entirety of an infected population, which is followed by incineration of the corpses to prevent further soil contamination. It is then necessary to fence off contaminated land for at least 5 years to prevent any other animals from grazing on the prion-infested pastures, which poses another huge challenge to authorities, as these areas can sometimes span hundreds of acres. There's also rules in place now which require CWD testing of hunted animals pre-consumption in areas where the disease has been found. Though these measures are being taken seriously now, there is no doubt that thousands of infected deer and elk have been consumed by humans in years prior. Now finally, some good news. As of 2021, there is still no evidence that the prion that causes chronic wasting disease can infect a human host. But that doesn't mean it never will be able to. Recent studies have shown infection to be possible in monkeys, cattle, voles, mice, and ferrets. So what do you think? Are humans next? I'm probably gonna lay off the venison for a while either way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon. Peace.